Welcome to Thieves Cant, a tabletop gaming podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Shane and Chris White.
Welcome in Saturday, May 3rd. Thieves Cant. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
Glad to have you back once again. I hope you've had a great week. Chris, did you dodge any runners on your way to the studio today?
Well, a few runners dodged me.
We have some sort of marathon happening in town, and navigating to the studio was challenging today.
Yes. I lost a little faith in my fellow man, but that's okay.
I am also highly caffeinated. Got to attend the prom last night.
How was that?
Well, as prom nights are, it was a night of magic. Not really. It was a night of waiting for it to be done.
Yeah?
And it is done now, but I'm feeling the after effects. I'm really just ready to talk some gaming.
Well, hey, you're in the right place.
All right. Coming up in today's show, we're going to take a look at a horror gaming resource that's funding now on Backerkit. I think it looks cool. You might like it. We're also going to unveil a first here on Thieves Cant. I figured since we made it to episode 10, we'd do something a little different. That's quite the milestone, 10 episodes.
That is.
How about our first ever Thieves Cant actual play?
Okay. You have my interest.
But not the way that you're thinking. Our actual play is going to be magical. In fact, Chris, today I'm going to teach you to play Magic the Gathering.
Oh, this is my Helldivers.
I can see the panic in your eyes right now. You are not a fan of card games.
No, I'm not. No.
And I talk some magic with you from time to time. And today I'm going to teach you the basics.
All right. I'm ready.
But first, let's get to some news and notes. All right, Paizo has launched Starfinder Society 2.0. We could say that they are blasting off with the revamp program. Ha. You see that?
We could say that.
All right, so this is their organized play program for the Starfinder RPG. So if you're heading off to a con to play, or if you've got maybe a local group at the library, maybe they're using these materials. Just announced this week, the program will streamline the rules to align with Starfinder 2nd edition. New scenarios, new rewards, global events. Paizo's blog highlights updated classes like the Envoy and the Mystic. Cross-compatibility for Pathfinder 2e fans. All right, so Starfinder, it's the sci-fi version of Pathfinder, right? Mm-hmm. Using essentially the same rules. Are you surprised that WotC has not developed an alternate product using like the 5e engine?
That's interesting.
You know, a Starfinder to their D&D.
I don't know if Spelljammer counts from years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be the one, right?
And it leans still into the fantasy elements, more than a actual true sci-fi, I guess, whatever that means.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I always looked at Spelljammer more of as like another setting.
Yes. It was D&D in space, right?
Right, as opposed to a different game.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why they never did that. They never seem to take those elements.
With the popularity of 5e, historically, I mean, TSR and WotC, they have used the D&D rule set for different products. If we go back, I did a little historical research myself. If you go back to 1982, TSR released Star Frontiers, Alpha Dawn. Now, this was not at the time directly based on D&D mechanics. It was just kind of a sci-fi parallel to D&D. Used its own system, but then later on, there were some supplements and conversions, a lot of third-party work, a lot of fan work that brought it closer to the D&D rule set. So it was a TSR product, but not truly D&D based. All right, so then 20 years go by, 2002, WotC releases D20 Modern, directly based on 3rd edition's D20 system.
I completely forgot about this.
Right?
Yeah.
modern / near future, an action kind of game, urban fantasy, espionage. Future supplements would include D20 Future, D20 Apocalypse, Cyberspace. Those all came out somewhere between 04 and 06. So again, this was a direct 3E analog, just with a different skin.
Is that sort of the answer then? Like that maybe none of these were that successful? You know, because I remember them vaguely now that you've brought them up, but, you know, they aren't really etched into the wall of fame of, you know, RPGs or even, you know, WotC's accomplishments. So it's really interesting, isn't it? I mean, I wonder why. Did the system not lend itself well, or was it just not well made in general? It's interesting.
I passed over 2001's Wheel of Time role-playing game based on the Wheel of Time series from Robert Jordan. Yeah. This was released by Wizards of the Coast using 3E rules. It was a standalone game that used the D&D mechanics to support the Wheel of Time setting.
I remember these books. I remember you having them.
I had a copy of this, and I have no idea what became of it.
We played around with this a little bit, I think.
We were interested to see how the magic system from the Wheel of Time series would surface mechanically. It had to be a little different. I do not remember the particulars.
I don't either. That's it. Now I really want to dig through these books.
Right. 2003, WotC releases the Warcraft role-playing game in conjunction with White Wolf. Again, based on 3rd edition. All about Blizzard's Warcraft universe. No experience with that one. But again, an official WotC product using the D&D rule set without the D&D label. And then finally, we've got the rather long history of Gamma World. This is the one that I find interesting. All right, so Gamma World, post-apocalyptic science fantasy. You've got the 1st through 3rd editions of Gamma World, ranging from 78 to 1986, loosely based on original D&D, but significant mechanical differences. Best described as D&D inspired. Okay. Then 4th edition, Gamma World, comes out in 1992. This is a little more closely aligned with AD&D 2E mechanics. It had THAC0, had saving throws, level advancement. 5th edition comes out later that same year. It's a simplified version of 4th edition in a box set, reprinting some things, streamlining some mechanics, but still rooted in 2E. 2003, 6th edition, using the D20 modern system that we just talked about, published by Sword and Sorcery Studios. That's a White Wolf imprint, so that's not a WotC release. The WotC release finally comes in 2010 with the 7th edition of Gamma World that's based on the 4E rules, uses powers, character roles, but there was also a collectible card mechanic for mutations and powers, which was a pretty radical shift.
Yeah.
But it was still mechanically rooted in 4th edition D&D. And since then, again, that was 2010. Since then, to my knowledge, correct us if we're wrong, there has not been an official D&D license holder release of a game that uses the D&D rules just under a different banner.
I cannot think of anything.
But to your point from earlier, maybe they've already reached the conclusion that they're going to take a loss in some way if they put their resources in that department. They need to stay focused on just D&D, the brand.
Yeah, I guess it seems like really since 2014 and 5E, they've leaned exclusively into D&D, all things D&D, you know, wherever the marketing might take them. But the focus really shifted and moved exclusively to D&D.
Yeah.
I really want to go back now and look at some of these old rules, especially 7th edition of Gamma World. I wonder how close to 4E it really runs.
It's pretty close. Just I've got the box. They released a few, the core box set, and then a couple of expansions for it. I've got that core box set. If you're familiar with 4E, you can pick this up and play it out of the box. It would be maybe a fun one to give a one-shot to.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little mini campaign.
Yeah.
Sometime. Perhaps. All right, let's move on. Pathfinder 2nd Edition has an Asian fantasy bundle on Humble Bundle. This is a big one, too. Options start at $15, but you can pay $45 to get the entire 43-item bundle, nearly $700 in value.
Wow.
Tons of what they call Asian fantasy items, but the bundle also includes the Pathfinder 2e starter set, all of the monster books, and if you're at that $45 tier, you even get a physical copy of the player core book. If you have any interest in playing Pathfinder 2e, this is probably the bundle for you. You're going to get everything you need and more.
Yeah, $45 and you're ready to play.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Plus, if you're into the whole Asian fantasy thing, there's a whole, what do they call them? What do they call their campaign arcs? Adventure paths.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so you've got your entire adventure path, all the DM resources, a lot of goodies if you want to delve into Pathfinder 2e.
There you go. Sounds good.
All right, so that's the latest in our news and notes. Let's jump ahead to crowdfunding. Today we're taking a look at a product over on Backerkit called I Don't Belong Here, and they dub it a modern horror RPG Spark book. It's got 11 days left on Backerkit. It's right around $20,000 right now. It had a $5,000 goal, so it's done reasonably well. It's part rules expansion, part system agnostic inspiration. And, well, if you're a Radiohead fan, it's inspired by the lyrics of Radiohead.
Really?
Right.
Interesting.
I Don't Belong Here is the name, right?
Oh, yeah.
So as for the rules expansion part, this is for a game called Liminal Horror, a rules-light modern horror game. So you get a bestiary, spells, a solo adventure, and some other odds and ends for that game. But also in the book, and this is where the inspiration side comes from, you've got more than 20 two-page spreads that ask you to roll across several different categories, 3d6 rolls across several different categories to generate interesting encounters, items, NPCs. Each two-page spread is specifically focused on one of these things. And so your die rolls, that's where the whole Spark book idea comes from. Rolling these dice and just to try to generate ideas. I love that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we had our experience in the Forge of Creation using the Tome of Adventure Design.
That was fun.
I love resources like this just to give you some inspiration to trigger an idea that maybe you would not have come up with otherwise. And now you've got something cool that you can riff off of. So this is the kind of resource that I like.
It's interesting. Just trying to get a feel of what it's about. I know it says liminal horror. So does that mean we're going to be in the back rooms roaming around, or?
Yeah. Well, liminal horror is the name of the rules light system.
Oh, that's the system. Okay.
That any of the system specific content in the book is geared towards.
Okay. Gotcha.
But the other half of the book, these two-page spreads, are system agnostic. They don't tie into any sort of rule set. It's just strictly inspiration with a horror bent. All right. So you got to know what you're in for. If you're not a fan of horror, this is not the book for you. But if you like something creepy, you might check that out. I Don't Belong Here, a modern horror RPG Spark book.
Yeah, I'm a creep.
You are a weirdo. You don't belong here.
What am I doing here?
Are you ready to become even more of a weirdo?
I'm prepared to embrace it.
Embrace the magic. Let's move on to our main segment. Today, first, it's a Thieves Cant actual play. We're going to play some Magic: The Gathering. This is going to be Chris's first time playing the game. I'm going to do my best to teach. I don't know how good of a teacher of Magic: The Gathering I am.
We're going to find out. I feel like if you beat me, you're not a very good teacher.
I need to clarify again that this is Chris's first time playing Magic. We're going to be kind of learning as we go. I'm going to leave stuff out. It's best just to tackle things as they come up. This is going to be very casual, non-competitive.
What you are listening to is basically the beginning of my journey to ascent as Magic World Champion. They'll play this recording to remind everyone of the humble beginnings.
This is where it all begins.
Yes.
And speaking of casual, I should also point out, as the instructor here, that I am by no means a Magic expert. I am very much a casual player. We're not going to be doing anything crazy like deck building right out of the gate. We're not opening up booster packs. None of that. We're just using pre-constructed decks, okay?
Okay.
And this is out of the Game Night box set. They put these out from time to time where it's just 5 decks, 1 for each color in Magic. They're ready to play right out of the box. So you've got your red, your green, your blue, your black, and your white. Each of these decks is themed in a certain way. I kind of want to share with you what I think the player types that are drawn to each color are.
Okay.
All right. Well, first, let me ask you, what color are you kind of initially drawn to, just on sight?
The blue's really pretty.
The blue's calling your name?
Pretty.
All right. Well, let me describe each of them in turn. So for me, I think the black, this is the Edgelord. Okay.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Everything.
Hex blade right there.
It's all death.
Yeah.
And just grimy and gritty and edgy. Right?
That might be the one for me.
Yeah, maybe. Red, this is the Pyromaniac. All right.
Oh, okay.
A lot of quick damage, little twitchy.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
You're just ready to set things on fire.
All right.
The white, this is the Staller. Right? Here's another turn that went by, and I just gained 5 life. I did nothing to you. I'm just gaining life, gaining more and more life. This game will never end.
So white is like the battle of attrition person,
It
right?
can be.
Okay.
It can be. Green, this is the Power Tripper. Right?
Oh, okay.
This is one of the goals of the game is to knock your player down to 0, or your opponent down to 0 life. And what better way to do that than with just heavy-hitting big creatures?
Okay.
That's where you're at with green. It's a power trip.
That sounds good.
Blue, which you said you were particularly drawn to, this is the Butthole.
I assure you, sir. It is not.
This is the player who just loves to annoy their opponent.
I said this was the prettiest one. You did that on purpose.
If it makes you feel any better, my favorite is blue.
Okay.
All right, that's what I'm naturally drawn to as well. I like to be the butthole.
Okay.
But
so what exactly makes them that way then?
a lot of blue decks have counter spells in them. Like you think you're going to pull something slick, and your blue playing opponent says, nah.
Yeah.
Nah. And the worst is when your blue playing opponent just sits back and does nothing on their turn and just keeps passing to you so that they can just continue to shut down everything you're trying to do. They have no real plan in mind. They just want to tear your plan down.
Okay. So they're like the talk to the hand
Right.
team.
Right.
Okay. All right. I got you.
Yeah. So based on that information, what are you feeling? You want to stick with your initial blue?
No.
You want to be the butthole?
No. I do not. I think the green sounds pretty cool.
Ooh, you want to be the power tripper.
Yeah.
Okay. So you should go ahead and start shuffling these.
Okay.
I'm also going to give you this D20. This is, you will notice, not your usual D20. It is designed to track your life total, so it will spin down to the next number.
So I'm not rolling that. It's like a counter.
It is a spin down die. Correct. No rolls. Let's see. If you're playing green, let's go red. These are 60 card decks. That's your minimum deck size in a game of Magic the Gathering, 60 cards. Now, you can have a larger deck if you'd like to, but 60 seems optimized.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Played Uno before. A lot of cards.
Now, in that deck of 60 cards, you're going to have 24 land cards, and you're playing green, so your lands are forests.
Okay.
My lands in the red deck are mountains. And you need land on the board in order to power your spells. Your spells come in many different forms, Chris. Creatures, enchantments, artifacts. These are what we call permanents, meaning they stay on the board when they're played. Other spells, like if you have in your hand an instant or a sorcery, these are like you play for an effect and they go to your discard pile, known as your graveyard.
Okay.
At this point, we're going to draw our opening hands.
Okay.
So you're going to draw a hand of 7 cards.
I can look at these, right?
You can look at them. And that's one of the best parts about Magic the Gathering is looking at the cards, all the beautiful art.
They are pretty.
Now, with this opening hand, you have the option to mulligan, meaning if you don't like what you're seeing, and I know that you don't even know what you're looking for right now.
The brilliant part about being an idiot is that I'm completely unaware of how bad my situation is.
But if you don't like what you're seeing, you can discard and draw a new hand of 7 cards, but then you would have to get rid of 1. You would only get to keep 6. You could mulligan again, do the same process, and keep 5, and so on until you're satisfied with your opening hand. I would say for an opening hand, I'm looking for 3 lands. I like to have at least 3 lands in my opening hand. Depending on the deck, 2. I don't want to just blatantly ask what you're looking at, but
I'm looking great.
Okay.
That's all you need to know right now.
Very good. I know these dice aren't necessarily for rolling, but let's roll. High roll can be the first player.
Let's go.
All right. All right. I'm looking at 11.
Got a 14.
You've got a 14. You're going to be the first player. So as the first player, you don't draw a card, but typically on your turn, you draw a card. You can play 1 land unless an effect says otherwise. And then if you've got enough land to produce mana to power your spells, then you can continue to play spells throughout your turn. So on a typical turn, you're going to draw a card at the start of your turn. But as the first player, you're not going to draw on your first turn.
Okay.
So if you've got a land, I would recommend you put that down on the board.
Boom.
All right, so that
There's
goes...
a forest right there.
There's a forest, a mighty forest. So that comes in what we call untapped, meaning it's upright. You're looking at it upright.
Yep.
Whenever you need to produce mana to power a spell, you're going to tap that land.
Yeah.
Just turn it on its side.
I'm familiar with that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you have 1 mana.
Okay.
If you tap 1 land, you have 1 mana of that same color.
Okay.
All right. So if you have a 1 mana spell that you can play and you wanted to, you could.
What's a 1 mana spell?
Yes. Let's explain. So each card in the upper right-hand corner, you'll probably see some symbols and numbers.
I do.
You see any cards that have a number in like a gray circle?
Yep.
Okay, so that means that gray circle, that can be mana of any color.
Okay.
Can power that. If it has a green symbol there, a forest symbol, that means that has to come from a green land.
Green land.
Okay. All right. So let's say, for example...
Do you have to have both? Or like
You got to have the total. So let's say you're looking at a card that has a gray circle with a 1, and then next to it, there's a green circle.
Okay.
That means it's a 2 mana spell. One of those mana, at least one, has to be green, and the other one can be any color.
I got it.
So first turn, you've played your land. Now I draw a card to start my turn.
Right.
And I'm going to put down a mountain. And let's see if I've got anything I want to play. Oh, yeah, I do, actually. I'm going to tap that mountain for 1 red mana, and I'm going to play Shock. This is an instant. An instant, Chris, you can play at any time. Well, on anybody's turn. I could have hit you with this instant on your turn if I wanted to. I could have interrupted you and dealt damage. But Shock deals 2 damage to any target. You are the only target I see. If you had creatures on the board, I could target one of your creatures, right?
Yeah.
But instead, I'm going to send the damage at you. So you can spin your die down 2 spots from 20 to 18.
All right.
The spell I cast is not a permanent, so it goes to my graveyard,
Okay.
my discard pile. I'm all tapped out. That's my turn.
I don't think that was very nice. No. So I'm going to draw, and I'm going to lay down another one of these.
Okay.
Another forest for me.
All right.
If I tap that, is it like gone, or I'm just using it to fuel this one thing, or?
So it will stay on the board. At the start of your next turn, any permanents that you have tapped will untap.
Okay.
Therefore, they're fresh and ready for you to use again.
Okay. No, I don't think I'll do anything else right now.
All right. Coming back to me. So I'm going to untap that land. I'm going to draw my card. And let's go ahead and put another mountain down. That gives me 2. And that's going to be my turn.
Back to me. I am not going to do anything right now.
Must be out of land.
That's a possibility. One of many.
That turn ends still with 2 forests on the board. All right, back to me then, drawing. And I'll put another mountain down. Gives me 3 lands with which to work. And I'm going to be done.
What is my goal here to kill you?
Yeah, the goal of the game, there's a couple different ways that the game can end. One of us can drop to 0 life. If you ever need to draw a card and there's no card available in your deck or library, then you lose the game. That's another way that you
run out of cards.
Correct.
Okay.
There's another mechanic in Magic that uses like poison counters. You can accrue poison counters. If you end up with 10 of those, you lose the game. That's nothing that we have to worry about right now.
Okay. It's my turn. Well, this is quite a turn of events here. Here comes that 3rd forest. So now I can lay down my thrashing Brontodon, right?
Now you can unleash him.
I have to tap that forest. I'm going to tap that. And now I don't know what to do with that, but there it is.
All right, so that will just go out on the board in front of you. If we take a look at the thrashing Brontodon, he's a 3/4 creature. I'll explain what those mean. And he's got an ability. You can pay 1 mana, sacrifice him, meaning you just put him in your graveyard, and that would let you destroy a target artifact or enchantment. Let's say I had something nasty on the board that was just giving you all sorts of grief, maybe an enchantment that's draining life from you. But you could sacrifice this guy for 1 mana and get that off the board.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The 3/4 there in the bottom right-hand corner, the 3 is the thrashing Brontodon's power. That's how much damage he can dish out.
Okay.
The 4 is his toughness. That's how much he can take before he has to leave the board.
Okay.
Now, one thing you need to know, as he comes into play, as all creatures do unless otherwise stated, he has what's called summoning sickness. As a planeswalker, you have brought him into the field of battle. You have summoned this creature. He can defend at this point, but he cannot attack on the turn that he enters play. Nor can his abilities be activated on the turn that he comes into play. All right, so it's got to come back around to you before you can actually send him at me.
Okay.
All right?
Get ready.
Oh, I'm bracing myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to be thrashed.
That's right.
All right. Back to me. I'll draw. I do have a land I can play, which brings me to 4. Let's explore some options. I will tap all 4 to play Captivating Crew. This is a 4/3 creature, and it has the ability, I can pay 4 mana, gain control of a target creature that an opponent controls until the end of my turn. I can untap that creature, it gains haste until the end of the turn, and then I can do with it what I want. All right?
You're going to take my Brontodon?
Well, I can't do it this turn because, again, this creature I just summoned has summoning sickness, so I can't activate that ability this turn. Plus, I don't have the mana to power it. It takes 4 mana for me to even do that. So you're safe right now, but he's on the board.
Okay.
And that goes back to you.
So can I kill him with my Brontodon? Can I try to kill him?
All right, so here's how you can utilize your creatures. When you send your creature into attack, you are targeting your opponent. So you would not be able to say, all right, my creature attacks your creature. But whenever you attack me with a creature, I have the option to defend myself with one of my own creatures. So I can block that attacking creature with one of my own, but I can't attack another creature with my own.
Gotcha.
Makes sense? So if you would like to attack with your Thrashing Brontodon, you may. Just know that I may defend myself.
I got a thing here. I can use I have all 3 of these. The forest, right? I can use? Okay. I have an artifact.
Okay.
Can I lay that down?
Yeah. What do you got?
There it is. Rona's Monument. So green creature spells that I cast cost 1 less to cast.
Oh, now that's a nice play. So everything that you're doing is now that much more affordable. And the more and more land you get on the board, that's just going to continue to pay dividends.
Okay, so if I'm considering an attack, obviously this thing has stats, right? It has the 3/4.
Right.
So if I attack you, is that and you're going to intercede with your monster, right? You're going to
I could.
You could.
Or I could just allow the attack to happen and absorb the 3 damage.
Okay.
If I do block, you would have to know that I've only got the 1 creature to block with. He deals 4 damage. So if I block, essentially both these creatures are coming off the board.
Okay.
Unless one of us pulls a surprise out of our hat, which we're not going to because neither of us have any land to tap for mana.
Okay.
And that's one thing to pay attention to, as well as how much potential mana can your opponent produce in a given moment. Because they might be keeping something up their sleeve.
They have some bullets in the chamber.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
I think I'm going to leave it alone right now.
Just going to hold it. Okay. I'll untap everything. Draw. I'll play a 5th mountain. And I think there's no reason that I wouldn't use my Captivating Crew's 4 mana ability to gain control of a target creature an opponent controls until the end of my turn. In doing so, that creature gains haste, and I will now attack with both of these. So I'm attacking with the Captivating Crew for 4 and your Thrashing Brontodon for another 3.
Uh-oh.
You have nothing to block with.
That's right.
So you take 7 damage.
Oh, my goodness.
So you spin your 18 down to an 11. That is all I can do on my turn, which means my turn ends, and the Thrashing Brontodon comes back into your control.
Okay.
And it is now your turn.
Well, I don't know if I want him back. I feel like this is going to affect our relationship moving forward. So you're done?
That's me. Okay. So back to you. Everything untaps, and you can draw.
Okay. I'm going to use 2 of my land resources to do this seek the wilds.
Okay.
And so this says I can look at the top 4 cards of my library. I get to keep one. I put the others at the bottom of the stack.
Oh, very nice. That's handy.
Yeah. They're going to all 4 be awesome. I'm going to be so sad. I can only pick one. I'm keeping that one. So that's all I can do.
I'm assuming you don't have a land to play.
Well, that's what I got. I got another land to play. So.
Okay. Well, you have not played a land this turn. So
so I can do that.
You can put a land down. Absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
All right. You do have the option to attack with your Thrashing Brontodon. He would be unblocked at this point because my creature attacked last turn. He does not untap until the start of my turn.
Well, yeah, I want to attack.
Okay, so you're going to send this guy at me, the Thrashing Brontodon. He is unblocked. I will take 3 damage, which drops me to 17.
Well, this thing says something here. Whenever you cast a creature spell, target creature you control gets +2/+2, and gains trample until the end of turn. So that's probably already passed then. That was already a thing that happened.
Well, it's this day. What you're referring to is the artifact that you put on the board earlier, that Rona's monument. Whenever you cast a creature spell. So if you were,
I should have held, okay.
If you had a creature spell to cast, so this stays on the board, this artifact.
It does.
Stays out. Anytime you cast a creature spell, as long as this is on the board, then you can designate a creature to gain these benefits, to get the +2/+2 and trample. And what trample means is if they have more power than the defending creature has toughness, whatever excess is remaining, that carries over and that will hit the target. A 5-power creature being blocked by a 3 toughness creature, that leaves 2 damage. That carries over to the opponent.
Okay, gotcha.
Whereas a creature without trample, a 1 toughness creature could block a 20 toughness creature that didn't have trample all day long.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So I'm good.
You're good. All right, you've attacked, you've dealt some damage, passing it back. I'll untap and draw. And, I mean, like, we're at the point here, I'm looking at what I have, I'm looking at what you have. There's really no reason for me to do anything other than tap these 4 mana again, gain control of your Thrashing Brontodon once again, and send both of these dudes crashing at you for another 7 damage.
That's what I'd do.
That just seems like I've got cards in my hand, plenty to play, but based on the options in front of me, I don't feel the need to get too aggressive with my card play. I can just use what I have in front of me and deal 7 damage to you.
Okay.
Unless you have some means of stopping it that I don't see coming.
It's funny you say that because I don't. So, what is it, 7 damage?
It's another 7.
So that's 4. I'm at 4. That's probably not good.
You're getting down.
This is not going well.
You're bleeding out.
Oh, my goodness. It's a bad deal.
All right, the play passes back to you.
Back to me. Okay. Well, got a surprise for you, mister. I'm going to tap 3 forests, and I'm going to throw a Howling Goblin.
Oh.
A Howling Golem, huh?
Even worse.
A Howling Golem. Yeah, that was hard.
Howling Golem. So describe this guy.
Whenever Howling Golem attacks or blocks, each player draws a card. That seemed like a pretty good option, especially since it's the only one in my deck I had enough power for. So,
What are we looking at power and toughness wise? Does that say 2/2?
That's a 2/3.
All right, so 2/3. All right, very interesting.
And my Brontodon will attack you.
All right, he will be undefended. I will take another 3 damage. That will drop me to 14.
All right, and my Howling Golem has the sickness.
The summoning sickness.
Yes, he has the sickness. So
he's ready to defend if need be, but don't ask him to do much more. He ain't feeling it.
Yeah, that's how I am every morning. When I wake up, I'm ready to defend. That's all I got.
All right, untapping, drawing, and I don't have a land to play, so I'm going to sit at 5. Gosh, you're at 4. Man, I just feel like
just finish me.
I just feel like such a jerk. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tap these 4 because why would I do anything else?
You can hear the narrative. Finish him.
I'm going to grab your Thrashing Brontodon once again, and I'm going to attack with both of these. Now, you do have another creature on the board that you can block with.
That's right.
You've got 4 life. I'm sending a 3-power creature and a 4-power creature at you.
Yeah. Do you get to pick which one's blocked, or do I?
No, you are the defender. So if you want to block, you assign your block.
The 4-power.
Okay.
Let's block that guy.
That seems like a good move.
Yeah.
So you would block with this creature with your Howling Golem, blocking my Captivating Crew. You will still take damage from the Thrashing Brontodon.
Good old Benedict Brontodon. That guy's been nothing but trouble since I laid him down.
And he will drop you to 1 life.
Down to 1.
That is, I believe, let me double check my hand. Yeah, that is my last move of this turn. So pass it back to you. All right. You're down to 1 life. You're on the brink. Let's see if you can pull out a miracle.
Well, hey, I got another land card.
All right, that brings you to 5.
That brings me to 5. This might change everything. Let's see here. Man, some of these things look tough, but I'm afraid they're going to get flipped on me, and I'm going to be sad. I'm scared of my own monsters. Yeah, how do I kill that guy that keeps flipping the stuff?
If you
get a thing,
sometimes there are cards. I don't know about the deck that you're using, but there are cards that will let you destroy a creature, deal damage directly to a creature, exile a creature, which means they just leave the board, they leave the game. So there are ways to deal with them. It just depends on the deck that you have selected or constructed, or the cards that you've drawn. Sometimes you just have a bad run.
Absolutely. This is not a skills issue, clearly. This is just bad luck. That's all.
I mean, this captivating crew card that I have, it is I'm taking advantage.
No doubt. No doubt. Okay, well, I'm going to throw down 5. I'm going to tap all 5 fours.
Oh, something big was coming.
I'm going to throw down Goreclaw, the Terror of Qualsisma.
What have you unearthed?
Yo, this thing is like a honey badger on crack. Creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 less to cast.
Oh.
So you better hope you kill me. And whenever Goreclaw, Terror of Qualsisma attacks, I feel like we should shorten that somehow. Each creature you control with power 4 or greater gets +1/+1 and gains trample until the end of the turn.
That's beefy. I'm glad he can't attack this turn.
Well, I'm not.
You don't see like a keyword like haste or anything there, do you?
No, I don't. No, I don't see anything like that.
Okay, if you do encounter a creature with haste, they get to ignore summoning sickness. And they can act on the turn in which they enter the battlefield.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Okay, that would be to your benefit.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Now, well, I'm going to attack you.
Okay.
I'm going to attack you with the Brontodon and the Golem.
All right. Now, I should point out.
Okay.
I want you to just kind of want to help you see how things could play out here.
Mm-hmm.
You attack with these 2. That's going to leave you 1 defender.
Oh, I can't do both?
Right. If you attack, you tap the creature.
I got you.
And therefore, they're useless the next turn. They will untap at the start of your next turn, but on your opponent's turn, they won't be able to defend.
You know what? I'm going to hold.
That's probably the smarter move.
I'm going to hold.
Yeah. I probably could have done a better job of coaching that earlier.
Yeah, I feel like if I was playing with somebody who was new, that's the kind of thing I might point out. Or I would just crush them and destroy their spirit early on, whichever worked better for you. So it's good.
I guess we see what side I'm on.
Yeah, I guess we know now, don't we?
I did say I didn't know how effective of a teacher I'd be.
You know what? You're a Brontodon to me. Like the thrashing Brontodon of old, you have betrayed me once again.
Doesn't that sting? I mean, somebody like steals your loyal pet and sicks it against you.
Yeah, well, I don't know how loyal this thing was.
And over?
It's rough.
All right, so you're going to hold your turn there, or your attacks. Keep everything untapped as far as your creatures go. That's going to do it for you?
That's going to do it for me.
All right. Back to me. Let me untap and draw. Just drew another mountain, so I'm going to put that down. That brings me to 6. I'm going to tap 2 mountains to play this sorcery, Dragon Fodder. This allows me to create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. What's the best way to describe a creature token? They function just like any other creature. They have summoning sickness. They cannot attack this round. They can defend. They have power and toughness. They're 1/1. It's just creating that token from outside of your deck. You don't draw tokens. They don't come from your deck. An effect from a card brings them into the game. All right, so now I've got my 2 goblins, 1/1, and I've got my captivating crew at a 4/3. Do I want to play anything else? I think I'm going to hold right there, and that'll be back to you.
That's back to me.
Yeah.
Another forest.
All right, that brings you to 6 lands.
Sure does.
This is where that green deck should probably start opening up a little more.
Yeah. I'm going to use 5 of them to do this overcome.
Oh, now what is this?
It says creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain trample until the end of the turn.
Okay. All right, so this is a sorcery, so it does not stay on the board.
That's right.
Yep, so that is just a one-time effect. It's in effect now, so that card goes into your graveyard. So they each have +2/+2 and trample.
Well, yeah, but it's +3/+3.
Oh, because of
Gore Claw.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you know what? I see what's coming, but I'm not going out like a chump. So we're going full out. I'm going to lash out.
You're going to send them?
I'm not getting skunked here. Like, I want you to feel the pain before I go down. I'm sending them all.
Okay. All right.
I'm sending them all.
Clarify what you're sending at me here. I know they've all got trample.
Everybody's got trample.
You've got say this one for me again. I just like the way you say it.
That's Gore Claw. Terror of Qualsisma.
All right, so he's going to grant an additional +1/+1 to each of your attacking creatures because they're all now at least 4 power. 18 total damage. If I leave it undefended,
that's right.
I'm out. I'm at 14 life right now. And we got to remember...
Why don't you just do that? Why not just do that?
I mean, it's an option.
Yeah.
We've got to remember as well that these creatures have trample.
That's right.
So I've got 2 goblins here, both at 1/1, so they're about to get smoked. Goreclaw is going to chew through 1 goblin.
Yep.
I'm going to block, we'll block there. I know this is incredible listening.
It's good. Guys, if you could see this happening right now, it would blow your mind.
Okay, so let's just say that I've got my blockers assigned. I've got 3 creatures with which to block. I'm going to assign 1 to each of your 3, but some of your damage is still going to get through because of the trample. So let's see how this plays out. Your Goreclaw is going to chew through this goblin. Wants 7 power at the 1 toughness. So he's going to get through, kill this goblin. 6 of that damage goes directly to me.
That's right.
We've got another...
He's down to single digits, folk, if you're playing along here.
This is big. Your Thrashing Brontodon is finally coming through for you.
Yeah.
Now dealing a total of 6 damage, 1 of which is going to be absorbed by this goblin, meaning I take another 5. This ain't looking good. Down to 3. And let's see if we can hold the line here. It's a...
Oh, we each have to draw a card, too, when he attacks.
Oh, when the Howling Golem... Oh, let's do that now, then. Good catch. The Howling Golem, now at 5 power. He is dealing 3 of that to my Captivating Crew, who is now off the board, leaving 2 to come at me, dropping me to 1 life.
What just happened? What just happened, folks? Rocky Balboa right here. Dun, 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 dun.
I just want to see the training montage before the sequel.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
You know?
It's just me sitting around eating Nutty Buddies.
Do you have anything else left in the chamber after that?
No, I'm pretty well spent.
Okay, so what Chris has done in this turn is wipe my board of all creatures, dropped me all the way down to 1 life, matching your own 1 life, Ryan. You're still at 1? Yeah.
1, yes.
Yep. All right. So it doesn't leave me with a lot of options on my upcoming turn. Let's see if the draw might be with me here. Okay. We're going to put a 7th mountain on the board. I got to be honest, I don't think there's a ton that I'm going to be able to do that's going to make a difference. I can pay 3 mana to play Bombard. This will deal 4 damage to a target creature. So let's go ahead and take out Goreclaw, 4 damage to Goreclaw to get that guy off the board.
What? Bro.
I'm sorry. I'm going to pay another 3 mana to do the same. I'm going to cast another Bombard for another 4 damage to a target creature. Let's get rid of the Brontodon. And that leaves me with only 1 mana. And unfortunately, I have nothing to work with for 1 mana in my hand. That's my turn. Leaving me as we go back to your turn, With 0 creatures on the board, I have no defenses, and you have a Howling Golem still in play.
Boy, it is. It's looking bloodthirsty. The Howling Golem is going to go ahead and attack.
And without anything to defend with, that Howling Golem will deal 2 damage, obviously enough to drop me to 0, and enough to hand you a win.
Well, there it is, folks.
A legend is born.
A legend is born. I hope that was entertaining for all of you as it was for me. If you could see the look on his face right now, it's the tears running down his cheek that make it so bittersweet.
I really did feel like I had this one wrapped up.
I think you were merciful. I think you went easy on me. I think you could have had me long before. But I will gladly turn your mercy upon you and accept this victory. And
well, accept the victory you should. First game of Magic.
Yeah.
You come away with a win based on that very limited, very unstructured playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn anything about Magic the Gathering that you didn't already know or didn't already understand?
Well, I did. I understand the idea of counter cards and things like that, but I didn't really understand the idea of building up your land, as a battery to fuel your exploits and all that stuff. So, yeah, it was kind of neat. I mean, I learned a lot.
I really do like the fact that you went with the green and then I went with the red. We got to see really a difference in strategy that you can employ using those colors. Clearly, the key to success in a green deck, this particular deck anyway, not all, there are exceptions, but is getting enough land onto the board to really let those heavy hitters do their thing. Because once they hit the board, they're tough to deal with. The red deck, it plays fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of damage quick, low-cost spells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like green needs, their struggle is to survive long enough to
throw that massive counter punch, which is exactly what happened. That's how it played out. Yeah, Rocky got the last punch.
That's right. It's all right, Apollo. There'll always be next time. Get better. Get good, bro. Get good.
All right, well, I think that is going to do it for another episode of Thieves Cant. I think we've hit our limit today.
Make sure you tune in next week when Jeremy plays Helldivers for 2 hours. It's going to be great.
Remember, if you want to reach us, email thievescantcast@gmail.com. You can find us on social @thievescantcast and over on the YouTube @thievescant podcast. Hope you have a great week of gaming ahead. After that defeat, I think I'm going to go cry in the shower for a while. Do some reflecting of my own. All right. Hey, until next time, it's been Thieves Cant. I'm Jeremy. He was Chris. So long.
Thank you for listening to Thieves Cant. Email thievescantcast@gmail.com.